Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Good, Dave.
That's good, mate. We've been missing for a couple of weeks with Easter and all that, but we're back for the second day of the championships. 4 Group 1s to get through. Chautauqua and Winks set up a fantastic championships last week, mate.
They were
big
awesome.
wins.
Yeah.
And I think this championships gets bigger and better every year. Actually, it's just gaining a lot of momentum. A little bit of rain around in Sydney this week, and the track will probably race as a genuine soft 7 on the day, maybe even heavy, they say. So we'll get straight into it. The first Group 1 is the $4 million Queen Elizabeth Stakes at weight for age over 2,000, and with Winks not running, mate, it's really opened up the race.
It has, Dave. I don't know why she isn't running. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, conspiracy theories.
There are with a mile handicap worth $3 million and a $4 million weight for age event. But anyway, Dave, I've come back to Criterion, last year's winner. Ran first up over 13, and then went to 2,000 in the Ram Vet last start. I thought he loomed up like he was going to be right in the thick of it, and then he just sort of ran out of condition. And speaking about 4 lengths, I think they've really tightened the screws down for this race here.
Yeah, I think so.
The prospect of a wet track is really going to suit this horse. He's drawn 2, which is probably not ideal, but he's got a lot of class about him, and being a previous winner at weight for age, I think the horse is sort of getting back to where he needs to be. And yeah, at $6, I thought he was a lovely each way bet, so on the bit for mine.
No doubt he'll be suited by the rain affected track. I'm doing my selections based on the fact that I think the track will be rain affected, and horses that like wet tracks will be suited, so I definitely think Criterion's in there. I've settled on Lucia Valentino to win the QE. I thought she was first up in the Coolmore about 3 weeks ago. Produced an outstanding finish in that race, giving all the fillies and mares weight in that Group 1. She's second up into this race, but she had a good hit out in a trial 10 days ago to clean her up. She really excels on wet tracks, and she's going to be giving him a bit of a start, but I think she can, with the addition of Damien Oliver going on board, who's won on her before as well, actually, down at Flemington during the carnival. She'll find the right part of the track, and I think she'll produce a winning finish. She's $7 fixed at the moment, but being in such an open race, I think you'll get better on the day. And if the track happens to be heavy, I think she's an even better chance, so I think she's on the bit. The second big Group 1 is the $2 million Sydney Cup over 3,200 metres, mate. And who are you on in the Sydney Cup?
The toppy here, Dave, Who Shot the Bum, and well, we could probably pick any of Waller's. His record in the staying races is pretty good. Who Shot the Bum and put the writing on the wall with his fighting second last start to preferment at weight for age.
He did, yeah.
He's weighted up to his best here with the 57, but arguably probably should have been in the finish with a few others in the Melbourne Cup last year. Copped a pretty big check at the furlong, and then he backed up in the Sandown Classic and produced a demolition job, beating Tallship, who won a Warrnambool Cup and was pretty smart of Weirs. So I think he's primed for this 2 mile event, and at $3.50 on offer, I think he's on the bit for mine. He
ran second in this race last year. I actually like Grand Marshal to win here. I thought his last run in the BMW was outstanding as well. He was ridden by Jason Collett that day. Now, I think Jason Collett missed the boat. The winner made his run about the 600, went around them, and Jason Collett got caught at the back of the field with Grand Marshal, and when they sprinted, he was just left flat-footed. He worked home strongly, but the bird had already flown. 3,200 metres right up his alley. J-Mac goes on this week, and he's again, I think he's a horse that loves the sting out of the ground. He won this race last year, beat Who Shot the Barman, and there's only half a kilo difference in the weights this year, so they're pretty much meeting the same as they were last year. I think the timing is perfect for him. He'll be too strong again this year. He's $4.50 on the bid. I think you and me have the Quinella there, mate. The third Group 1 is the $1 million AJC Oaks at set weights for 3-year-old fillies over 2,400, mate. And who do you like in the Oaks, mate?
Going for a bit of an upset, Dave. Jamaica's backing up here, which may suit her.
Yeah.
Drawn wide again. which the 1.5 mile start here at Randwick isn't great, so she's going to have to work. So I really liked Alaskan Rose. I think she's been making nice progress this prep. And she's been tried previous prep. She was sort of 14 to a mile, and they stretched her out last start to 2,000 and the Adrian Knox, and she really hit the line impressively. She's drawn well here in 6. He's going to get back, but you know she's going to get cover at her first turn, and she does appreciate the sting out, which is going to be important on Saturday. $31 on the bookies. I think she represents fantastic each way value.
She was a good run last week. I'm absolutely shocked you didn't tip Jamaica, mate. I thought she was the class filly of the race. I thought she's competed right through the autumn against the colts and held her own. Really has only been beaten by some outstanding colts on the day. She comes back to fillies grade here, meets them all on level weights. I know she's drawn the outside barrier, but she's got D. Oliver back, goes back, riding her again. I think he'll just bring her across the field, settle in the first 3. I reckon there's only going to be moderate pace. These 3-year-old filly staying races, they tend to sit up mid-race because they're all fearful of their horses won't stay, so they don't put the pace on. I just think that'll give time for Jamaica to settle. I just think she kicks on the turn. I think she puts a gap in them. I see her winning this quite easily, personally. $3.50 on the bid. Actually, I've got $3.80 today. One of the best bets of the day for me. The last Group 1 is the $1 Million Queen of the Turf for fillies and mares over 1,600 metres, and this will really shock me if you don't tip this one.
Yep, and I'm not going to. I laid this horse 3 starts back. I think she's turned the corner, and that's Noble Protector.
Yep.
I thought she was. She showed she was nearly back to her best last start behind Miss Rose Delago, who kicked away at the Valley. She suited at weight for ages as a 6-year-old man, sure to get a beautiful run behind the speed from 2. Goes really well at this distance. Only try at the track was a 3rd in a Group 1 behind Amnapur and Catkins. She's $15 on offer, which is great each way value, and she's on the bit for mine.
Well, I've got Damien Oliver to win 3 of the Group 1s here. I thought there was 2 informed horses in this race, and I'm really confident because I think the wet track will suit these 2. Axedalia, I just think she goes on top. She's got everything in her favour to win a Group 1 here, and the wet track is really what is going to give her the best chance. She comes through the Winks Doncaster last week, goes up in weight, but she actually meets her opposition on better weight terms, being at set weights. She's got Damien Oliver back on board this week. I think this is a big chance to win her maiden Group 1. I just think the big danger is Zanbar. Racing in the best form of her career, comes off a Group 2 win in the Emancipation last start. She's slightly worse off at the weights because Axedalia beat her that day, but she just absolutely loves the sting out of the ground, this horse, and she'll get a good run in transit here. She's got Blake Shin on board. She's definitely a big danger to the favourite. There was $3.80 and $6 respectively on those 2. I think if you back them both, you won't lose. I think you're on the bit with those 2. Stable news, Lenny. What's been happening, mate? Any news?
Quite this week. Malaguera, whilst we were away, won a Group 3, which was exciting.
Yeah, that was very exciting.
Yeah, so he's probably going to push on to the Group 1 next week.
Next week, yeah.
Which will be great. Bedrock Dreams is running on Sunday, ran 2nd last week, so hopefully she can get another win under her belt. And Dream, we've got Magnet running Saturday in Queensland at Doomben.
Yeah, so Magnet heads to Doomben on Saturday. We haven't had much in the last couple of weeks, but Magnet starts off her autumn campaign in Brisbane this year. She's first up in a 3-year-old handicap over 1,050 metres. We've set her for 3 listed races, so this is sort of her lead up run, and then there's 3 listed races in Brisbane. We thought she was up to that sort of Brisbane listed class. She's only had 1 trial, so she's going to take a lot of improvement out of this run. She's drawn barrier 6, so she'll get a good run off the speed and comes in really well at the weights, and she'll definitely be very competitive. But not declaring her, I think she's a top 3 chance. I just think she'll take a lot of improvement out of the run, and next start she'll be right on her game, and hopefully we'll get a good result in the listed race. So we'll update you that in a couple of weeks' time. So no best on breeding, or your best on breeding was one of your...
best on breeding was Noble Protector.
Noble Protector,
who's, is an Northern Hemisphere bred horse.
Yep. Alright, value bets. Randwick race 10, number 2, Geronte. Can't believe they're giving $7 about this mare after a win in the Group 1 Galaxy last start. She beat Shiraz, Dothraki and Fell Swoop last start, and they all ran well last week in the Group 1 TJ Smith. So she drops back to mare's grade, she handles soft ground, she's raced well at the track and distance before, she gets another good run in transit. I thought surely she's the horse to beat again, and $7 each way, I think it's value for money on the bit. On the bet special, mate. Who are you on the bet with this week, mate?
Adelaide, Dave. Miss Gunpowder, race 2, number 1. Yeah, very talented filly who came across to Melbourne in the spring and won a Group 2 at Caulfield. Yeah. Trained by a leading Adelaide trainer in Philip Stokes. She resumes in a 3-year-old handicap when she's a Group 2 winner. Carries top weight but gets in well with the weights. Emily Finnegan, big fan of.
Yeah. She's backed her a few times, haven't you?
No, she ran last time. Yeah, 2 kilos she takes off, so she gets in 3.5 kilos above the minimum, so pretty well weighted, I would have thought. She's unbeaten from 2 starts, first up. And on the bit, she's at $3.50 at the moment with bet 365, so I thought that was a great price.
Very good price. I'm on the bit with Sandown Race 3, number 6, French Emotion. Progressive type of mare by Schnitzels, won 2 from 2 at Sandown. She goes up in class here, but she's down in weight, and I think the 1300 metres at Sandown with the long running will really suit her. She'll probably give him a bit of a start, but I expect her to power home over the top with the long run home. She's $2.10, pretty short, but I still think she's on the bit. Off the bit, Lenny. Who are you off the bit with this week, mate? Been pretty good with these.
Oh, I've been going back.
I've been going right.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah. I'm no good. Off the bit, race 1, Rosehill Reinforced. One of the many chances that came through the Bailey last start, and he failed to flatter in that race, running 9 of 10. Only win came at Wyong. Yep. He's yet to measure up in city class. He's sharing equal favouritism, probably because of the Snowden factor. So yeah, prepared to risk.
I'm laying Bounding in the last at Randwick, race 10, number 1. She's opened up favourite in this race, $4.50. She raced well last start in the Galaxy, but I can't see how she beats Geronte, or whatever you want to call it.
She's another Snowden. Horse now.
Yeah, and she loves the wet tracks, I know, Bounding, but seriously, I couldn't see how she beat some of these ones, given them weight. So she's off the bit for mine. So good luck, second day of the championships, big Group 1 next week with all the all age with Malaguera hopefully running, and we'll see you all next week. Good luck.
Cheers.